Hello friends, it's Cindy Brumbaugh from CindyLeeBDesigns.com, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today's card is a little cheater card. It's a faux center step card. I've made center step cards and shown you that they're not that hard to make. You just put them into your trimmer and you score, cut, turn, twist, and all that. This was a really easy way to do it because you still have that fun effect of having a step card, but not all that brain work and concentration. So don't give up on doing the real step ones, but these faux ones are so quick and easy to do. So 2 pieces puts together this fun card. Now you can see this gorgeous daffodil on the front. That's the daffodil dies that are coming out in the January to June 2022 Stampin' Up! Mini catalog. It goes live on January 4th, and you can get the daffodil dies that are bundled with the Daffodil Dream stamp set. It has Mother's Day and Easter with these beautiful daffodils to stamp, and I love this scroll design here and a cute little butterfly, but I'm just using these awesome dies, and you can see there's a bunch of them in there. And I'm using another celebration because we're going to be having celebration during our January through February time, and you can get this stamp set for absolutely free when you make a $100 qualifying order from the annual catalog or the mini catalog. So this is a great stamp set, special moments, that has so many different special occasions in here. So we're going to be using that on this card here. Now I want to show you also another fun thing you can get during celebration that Stampin' Up! Is holding. For a $50 order, you can get this gorgeous, I think it is called Daffodil Afternoon, all kinds of pretty florals, but mostly concentrating on those gorgeous daffodils. So if you were to purchase this daffodil bundle, you could get this Daffodil Afternoon DSP Designer Series paper in Stampin' Up! Turns for absolutely free. So look at those beautiful patterns in there. I love this floral one here too, with just some daffodils and some cone flowers, daisies. I just love this paper. Beautiful, especially whenever it's complements a bundle here. Now, as you can see here, I used this. Okay, where is it here? I used this pretty paper here. Okay, it has the daffodils that pop out with the pretty other flowers there, and I like these little checks because I liked having a background that wasn't that allowed the daffodil to come off. But when I made this card, I just realized that this pretty paper that's in the Daffodil Afternoon is really kind of the star of the show, and so I wanted to see more of this. So on the card we're going to make, we're going to actually switch the papers so that we have the little smaller pattern on the back and on the step of this card, and we're going to put the flowers behind our daffodil. On this one, I built up my daffodil using crushed curry, that's the color that's in the Designer Series paper, and Pear Pizzazz for my stems, and Very Vanilla for part of my daffodil there. So we're going to be making this card, but we're going to switch the papers on the next one. Okay, so I'm going to bring out all of these fun little pieces here. You got your stems and your leaves and your stem, and then your pieces of and see how pretty that's going to be having this as the star of the show there. Okay, so let's set that aside and look at these two. These are our Designer Series papers there, and we're going to look at the 2 pieces that make this faux step card. Okay, oh, and we also have an inside there. All right, I'm going to set that off to the side here. The first piece we have is 4 1/4, so it fits into an A2 sized envelope, 4 1/4 wide, and it's 9 inches. And what we're going to do is score it at 1 1/4, and then at 2 1/2, and at 5 3/4. Okay, so your length is 9 inches, and when you put that into your scoring tool or your Stampin' Trimmer, you're going to score at 1 1/4, 2 1/2, and 5 3/4. That allows it to fold down so that it rests this way, and then you have 1 1/4, and then 1 1/4 makes 2 1/2, and that's your step for your card to sit on the surface. And of course, I made my step 1 1/4 so I could use a 1-inch piece across here using my paper wisely. And so what we're going to go ahead and do is put this 1 inch by 4. I love being able to use the paper wisely on my cards, get the most cuts. So we're going to put this small pattern, and that has a really pretty pattern on the back of it. It has daffodils on the crushed curry with very vanilla. So it was kind of hard to pick this black design over those pretty daffodils, but it really lent itself well to what I wanted to do here. And sometimes you just have to make a choice, right? So now we're going to put this other piece back here. And this also is a great way of using your paper wisely. This is 4 inches by 3. So you're going to get 9 pieces out of a 12 by 12. So we're going to go ahead and put some glue on the back of that piece. Get some in the corner here, okay? And we're gonna put that on the back step of the card base. Just get a nice 1/8 inch border around the back, and there you can see how, I got a little glue on there, but we're gonna cover it up anyhow. So those are your back portions. Now, look how pretty this design shows up on here, but we need to get the panel that goes on the back, and that panel here is 2.5, so 2.5 by 8.5, and we're going to score it at 5.5 because we want it to fit into our A2 sized envelope, and that is, you know, 5.5, 4.25 by 5.5. So just take that 8.5 inch piece of paper, stick it into your trimmer, and just score it at 2.5, because then that's going to give you 5.5. Or you can turn it this way and take it over to 5.5 and score it. Either way, you're going to have 2.5 section and a 5.5 section. Oh, well then that's going to be actually 8. So it's actually 8 inches. See, I was doing my math there wrong. I wrote it down wrong, because let's just see here. Sometimes I'll see, oh no, it's 8.5. You're going to score it at 5.5, and then you have how much left over here? You have 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, okay. What am I doing? I'm totally not adding right. So again, we are at 8.5, score it at 2.5 or 5.5, whichever. So 5, but why is that 5? Why is my math? 3, score at 5.5. Okay, yeah, there. Oh, I'm adding 2 different numbers that I have wrote down, and that's wrong. Okay, so this is the piece that's going to go here. So let's just stop wasting your time with my, oh, isn't that a nice pattern too? But I didn't like that pattern up against the Pear Pizzazz on this card. It just kind of just didn't gel with me there. So we're going to put this, make sure your daffodils are going the right side up. And we're going to put that. So we have a nice 1/8 inch border the whole way around. And then I see some little, I think I need to change my cutting blade. These are just nail sanding blocks. You can also get them, they're actually, you can get them on bulk on Amazon. So we've got our pretty little there, and it's going to go right on the bottom of that. So why not go ahead and glue that on now? Where'd my glue go? Oh, the whole way over there. Okay, so the glue is going to go right down on the bottom of the card, right in the middle. Okay, we're just going to eyeball this so that we have about the same amount on the left and the right, and that it's flush on the bottom. Looks good to me. Okay, remember this is 5.5, and then we'll just fold this over, and this is going to attach to the back of the card. So I keep sticking my glue behind my stand that holds my camera, and then I'm not seeing it. So we're just gonna close that down there, hold it for a moment. That's the thing with the multi-purpose glue. I love it because you have a little bit of room to move, but you do have to hold it to get a good secure adhering of your cardstock together. So there we go. We have our step card made, and see, No fancy cutting that needed to be done with this one. Okay, so looking at this card, I made this one to match the daffodil that had crushed curry and vanilla with it. But on this one, I wanted to change it up and do the vanilla with the crushed curry. So one thing that's really great about this die set, with having all of these dies in here, is the fact, let's get these out. I haven't got them packaged up neatly yet. You have 2 of these. Look at that. They can go, you know, either way that you want your daffodil to go. You also have 2 of these leaves. You have 2 of this insert that goes on top of your daffodil. You have 2 of these, 2 of these. So it really makes 2 of these, 2 of these. So it really makes for quick, you can get a lot done at one time. You're not having to run it through, you're not having to run this through 2 times. You can just run through 2 at a time. So those are your bases of your daffodil. These fit on top of the daffodil. It gives it so much fun, and you can mix and match all kinds. A little sneak peek, I'll show you real quick. This one real quick. La da 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 da. I used the petal pink and the flirty flamingo, other colors that are in that daffodil paper, but you gotta wait to see that card. Okay, so what we're gonna do is bring out our craft mat, because I wanna save the integrity of my paper here. So we've got these little pieces here. We're just gonna turn over these little spidery looking things, and we're gonna put some glue on here. Okay. And these fit onto these little things that kind of look like this little helicopter. Let's see, does it go this way? Or does it go this way? Yeah, it goes this way. No, it doesn't. It goes that way. Wait, is that right? Let's see if I have that right. No, it doesn't. It goes this way. Okay, so once you play with it around a little bit, it does actually, let me see here, am I doing this right here? This way? Yeah, there's how it goes. Maybe I have that upside down. See how those little spidery things fit right on there, so there we go. See, that's what's nice about that glue. You gave me some wiggle time. Okay, so we just put those little pieces on top of those. And like I said, you can mix and match them. Okay, then we're gonna put a little bit of glue on the back of this daffodil one. And we can pop that onto our very vanilla part of the daffodil, and then you just pop that on there. And then I think I'm just going to use a glue dot just so that it's nice and adhered while we're making this card on the video. So I just put a glue dot on there and layer that daffodil just right, you know, off center the petals. And then I'm going to pop this one up with a dimensional. I'm gonna put, I think 2 dimensionals will fit on there to keep it nice and straight there. Get our little confetti that's all over the stamp room, all over the floor. So we're gonna put that right in the middle, and we've got a daffodil, yay. Okay, so we are going to be putting this daffodil, and look how pretty the 2 different patterns there, the papers, switching them makes a whole different effect. And I love the fact that the crushed curry and the very vanilla are equally as pretty. So now the next thing we have to do is put together our stems and leaves. Now I found that also putting a glue dot on the back of the top, you know, when I homeschooled my kids, we had like so many chapters of the you know, parts of a flower and everything. I never thought I would forget all the different pieces of it, but I do remember that water has to flow up to keep it the integrity of the stem. And I remember I used to say that xylem goes up and phloem goes down, the pieces of the inside of there, and I'd go xylem zippers go up and phloem flows down. So that was a way we remembered that. Of course, see, it did work out because I taught him that how many years ago, like 20 some years ago. And now I'm remembering it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is put this together over here. Now I just did this little trick with this because I knew I was going to be putting a tag across here for the sentiment. So I just kind of cheated and put I'm gonna put this a little bit higher. Kind of cheated a little bit, and I put them together. It's fun because these pieces are really fun to play with, but they move around on you. So I put these pieces together with a little piece of tape. So I kind of put a piece of tape here to tape them together, and then I pulled it up. Now let me see if it's gonna cooperate here. Pulled these pieces up, okay? So now I have my daffodil made, and I just kind of, see, it's a little tricky because when I was putting glue on there and then I just kind of taped it together, now I can go over to my card and put it onto the card. Now this goes behind here, okay? Now, you see how that fits on there? And I'm gonna trim off a little bit at the bottom here, okay? And I also just make sure your daffodil is down. Now you can definitely use glue, but what I did is I just kind of kept it in place for myself. And then I'm gonna put a dimensional underneath my daffodil up here. And then pull this off, the backing off of here. And then that secures the daffodil to the card base. And you can also put a couple little ones to get additional security there. Okay, so now I have that kind of adhered to there, but I can also come back with my glue now and put a little bit of glue back there underneath there. Now, of course, my glue isn't cooperating. Okay, so now I can put a little glue back there, and that's gonna keep it nice and tight to my card. Now, the next part then is to do our sentiment. And like I said, this Special Moments, it's a free set with a $100 purchase, has really great sentiments in it. And on this one, I used to someone who is wonderful in every way. And I love that. I couldn't wait for a special occasion I thought would be great. So what we're gonna do is I stamped a card to say you're amazing. And then I'm going to use our Label Me Fancy. And I'm just going to get that centered in my punch, nice and straight. Let me see here, I get my eyes, squint your eyes a little bit to get that straight. Do the old squinty eyes, okay, is that? Okay, punch that out, and that's gonna cover up our tape there. So we're gonna put a dimensional on each side of it. And we won't put it, I'm not putting a dimensional in here because I have the little bit of bulk there. And then I can just put that centered across to cover up the tape, say you're amazing. And then on the inside here, we are going to, and this doesn't technically go flat. It goes flat to go into the card, but it sits upright this way. But notice these little guys here. So what I did here is I just snipped off, just snip it, and I just kind of like did it on an angle. so that it looked like the die did it itself. And then I have my little stems there, and then we're gonna work on this little inside here. But you know what? I'm gonna grab a piece of scratch here, because we're gonna stamp that daffodil from the stamp set. We're gonna put it on the inside here. So I haven't even opened up my daffodil yet. So let's just take and use the smaller daffodil here. And I am going to adhere that. And then I'm just gonna stamp it right here in the corner. So I'm gonna get my Memento Black, which is perfect because we've got black on that card. And I'm just going to ink up my daffodil stamp. So just do it this way here. New stamp, gotta get it all conditioned here. Rub it around, hoping that this is gonna work on camera here. We're just gonna put this tulip, not tulip, it's a daffodil. 2 great sets in this new catalog with great dies. Gosh, you could order both of them and get this paper for free because it's $100. I mean, no, it's the only, the stamp set. Yeah, the stamp set. Okay, so we have a daffodil there. And what we're gonna do is just color, I'm actually gonna leave this here. I'm just gonna pull out my Old Olive. I'm gonna use my fine tip here. And I'm just gonna use the lighter Old Olive because it kind of mimics Pear Pizzazz. I'm gonna color in my stems to add some inside color to my card here. This is the stem. Let me see what this leaf, yeah, I guess this is the leaf here. And, oh, I guess, is that the stem? Oh yeah, this is actually a stem down here. And so then I did that. And then I'm using my light daffodil. I am not sure if I'm gonna wanna use the light. Yeah, we can use the light. I think the dark would have worked better. And just color that in. Uh-oh, I just realized I wanted to do it the opposite way. So you guys are gonna have to tune in to see what I did, because actually I wanted to do on this card, but I'll put this on the other one. I wanted to leave this vanilla and put that one as the, you know what I mean? Like I wanted to do it the opposite way and do the cone of this one. But I did not decorate the other inside yet. So that's what I'll do, is I'll do that. Okay, so what we could do is I'll end up putting, let's just go ahead and color this whole daffodil in, because, oh, there, maybe leave that that way. Oh, that gives it a nice look to it. Okay, and then we're just gonna pop that onto the inside of our card. Notice your blends always bleed through. So if you're like coloring on a thick vanilla or a thick with basic white, you will see that. So you're gonna have to, okay, just put that on the inside there with a nice 1/4 inch, no, 1/8 inch around there. Remember, it doesn't fold flat. So do that and insert that, and that just gives it a neat little look there. You've got a fun faux center step card. You didn't even have to do all that fussy measuring. And remember, all the measurements for this card are on my blog, cindyleebdesigns.com. Just right underneath the YouTube description, you will see visit my blog here. Press that link. It takes you over to cindyleebdesigns.com. You'll find those measurements, all of the products I used on this card, but also in the YouTube description underneath, you'll find the measurements and also links to my online store. So remember, you can get this Daffodil Daydream stamp set bundled with the daffodil dies, and it will be January 4th, the January through June Stampin' Up! Mini Catalog 2022 will be out, and you can also get this beautiful Daffodil Afternoon Designer Series paper with a free qualifying $50 purchase out of the annual catalog or the mini catalog, anything that we have active at that time and current. So isn't that a fun and easy way to make a center step card? Any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me at 724-323-2296 or email me at cindyleeb@gmail.com. Thanks for buzzing by, friends.